Hello everyone, welcome and namaste. My name is Raj Basel, second year MBBS student at Manipal College of Medical Sciences, Pokhara. Today we will be discussing about anatomy practicals for the Kathmandu University semester exams as well as the university exams. Okay, let's have a look at the marks distribution. So the practical will be consisting of 80 marks, in which in the first day we will be having our spotters, which will consist of 50 marks, and the practical record file, which will consist of 10 marks. Okay, in the second day we will be having our viva, where there will be of the 20 marks. Okay, so let's talk about the spotters first. Spotter consisting of 50 marks is divided into the histology section, which will have 10 questions, and each question will consist of 2 marks, giving the 20 marks. In the gross section, in which there will be 10 questions, and each question will be consisting of 3 marks, giving us the 30 marks. Okay, so in the viva of 20 marks, there will be osteology of 5 marks, that is the bones of 5 marks, embryology of 5 marks, radiology section of 5 marks, and the surface marking section of 5 marks. Okay, giving the 20 marks. In spotters will be have the 50 marks. Okay, so spotters is all upon how you perform, so you can gain a lot of marks through the spotters, and also depend upon the viva itself. Okay, now let's see about the histology section. Okay, so for histology section, there are the slides given in Manipal, given by Fanindra sir. So have a look at all of the slides that is present in that PDF. Okay, so this is the PDF. You can have a look at all the slides that is given here. Okay, that includes the simple squamous epithelium, simple cuboidal epithelium. Okay, now what you have to do is that you have to first identify the slide. Okay, for example, let's see, this is the simple squamous epithelium. Okay, the slide will be projected like this. You'll have to write the identification first, that is the simple squamous epithelium. Okay, now write the two distinguishing feature of this slide. Write in 2 points about this slide, and if possible give any 1 examples or 2 examples as it favorable. Okay, so have a look at all of the slides. Every single slide is important. Don't confuse between smooth muscle, cardiac muscle, okay, and the CS of the nerve as well. And this is the most confusing section. Okay, the spinal ganglion and the sympathetic ganglion. Have a very clear look. Satellite cells are present in the spinal ganglion, whereas it is absent in the sympathetic or autonomic ganglion. Okay, see at the corners, what we can see here is the satellite cells, which is absent in the sympathetic ganglion. Okay, so make your own kind of mnemonics, or how you would like to remember it. See, don't confuse between the large size artery and the medium size artery as well. Okay, so see, in the large size artery, it consists of the very thick tunica media. Okay, similarly in the medium size artery also there is a thick tunica media. You can see the lumen is very not seen here, but it is properly seen in the lumen is seen in the medium size artery, and also there is the presence of the wavy margins. Okay, there is the internal elastic lamina. Okay, so have a look at all of the slides. Don't miss this, because it is a sure shot 20 marks. Okay, sure shot 20 marks. Okay, now let's talk about the gross section. So gross section will consist of 10 questions, each of 3 marks, right? 10 into 3 gives us 30 marks. Okay, so it consists of upper limb, lower limb, bones. Identification of the bones could be there. For example, tibia bone could be given, and you could be asked to write which bone is it, which side of the bone is it, and also give one attachment would be given, that is marked by a chalk. Then you will be asked to write about what is attached there, or what is the insertion, what is the origin of that point. Okay, so this also could be given, and one question could be from the genetics section. Okay, each question consists of 3 marks, so don't miss anything. Okay, don't come unattempted. Attempt something that you know about the given specimen. Okay, so now in the genetics section, there could be autosomal dominant. Pedigree could be given, right? Pedigree. Have a look at all 3 pedigree charts that is given in your Chaurasia book. The same question would be there, same figure would be there. Okay, the autosomal dominant, autosomal recessive, and the X-linked recessive. Okay, what you have to write is identify it first, write into features or at least one feature, and give any 1 or 2 examples of each. Okay, and also have a look at the figures of Down syndrome, Turner syndrome, and Klinefelter syndrome, and also the genetic constitution of these all syndromes. Okay, now further moving, these are some of the important questions that could be asked from the upper limb gross section. So make a screenshot of this page. Okay, so let's look at it. Don't miss these things. Okay, all I am mentioning here is not to miss this point. Don't miss them. Plus study all. Okay, study as maximum as you could. Study all the muscles. Okay, but don't miss these muscles. Okay, the first is the deltoid muscle could be given. You could be asked to write about the origin, the insertion, and the nerve supply, and also the function of the deltoid muscle. Okay, deltoid muscle, biceps brachii, triceps brachii, very important, all three. Brachioradialis is also very important. Now see, pronator teres is very important. Okay, very important, pronator teres. The two heads of the pronator teres would be marked, and you would be asked to write what muscle is it, and all the similar questions related to pronator teres. Okay, next, supinator is also very important. Adductor pollicis is very important. Okay, adductor pollicis is very important. Next, pectoralis major and pectoralis minor are also very important. Okay, pronator quadratus is also important. Shoulder joint is also important. Don't miss these points. Okay, study as extra as you could, but don't miss all these muscles. Okay, further moving on, also study about flexor retinaculum, that is the carpal tunnel. Anatomical snuff box could be asked. Superficial palmar arch could be asked. Cubital fossa could also be asked. Okay, now furthermore, brachial plexus, this when asked about brachial plexus, it will be very easy, don't worry about it. The mesh will won't be created. A simple M structure will be given there. You will be asked to mark which nerve is this, or which nerve is this. It will be asked, and the root value will be asked. Okay, root value and the muscle supplied. Okay, the median nerve is also very important. With also know all the root values. Okay, root values. The radial nerve, the axillary nerve, brachial artery, axillary artery, all these are very important, don't miss them. Okay, similarly, space could also be asked. Potentially it is very important. Okay, could be asked in first semester. Quadrangular space and the upper as well as the lower triangular space is very important, and the structure passing through these spaces are obviously very important. Okay, yeah, this was about the upper limb. Now let's have a quick look at the lower limb. So the most important are popliteal fossa, obviously, and the content of popliteal fossa. Any sub questions could be asked. Okay, there will be 3 marks question, which means there will be 3 different questions would be there. The time would be just 2 minutes or lesser than the 2 minutes as they give in the semester exams. So you have to quickly identify it and do this tail questions that is asked there. Okay, popliteal fossa, femoral triangle is very important. Okay, and the knee joint is very important. Okay, from the knee joint, anterior cruciate ligament is very importantly asked. ACL and PCL is very importantly asked. Have a look at it and don't confuse the two ligaments. Okay, and the function of this ligament. Next is the femoral artery, femoral vein, very important. Okay, very important. Femoral artery, when asked, it will ask about the branches of femoral artery and tributaries of femoral vein. Okay, tributaries. Okay, and one quick idea is that first look at the questions itself. Okay, if the question has 1 2 3 questions, and the third value it is asking about the root value of this nerve. What is the root value? It is asking, it is obviously the question is asking about the nerve. Okay, it's not the artery. Okay, so that helps to distinguish between if it is a femoral artery or femoral nerve, if you are confusing about those things. Okay, try to have a very clever and a quick look at the subset questions also, tail questions also. Next is the obturator nerve is very important. Next is the sciatic nerve, common peroneal nerve, tibial nerve, obturator nerve. Now see, obturator nerve is also very important. Similarly, saphenous opening could be asked, and branches of the popliteal arteries could also be asked. Okay. Similarly, from the gluteal region and the posterior region of thigh, gluteal maximus very important, all know it. Okay, gluteal medius is also very important. The origin, the insertion, piriformis, rectus femoris, sartorius is very important. Okay, it is potentially the sure question, very important. Okay, this is the gracilis, also important. Okay, similarly, adductor longus is very important. Adductor magnus is very important. Okay, now semitendinosus, it was asked in the university exam, so it obviously is important. Semimembranosus, biceps femoris. Okay, also know about tibialis anterior and peroneus longus. And gastrocnemius is important. Soleus, popliteus, and plantaris. Don't miss about these muscles as well. The origin, the insertion, the nerve supply, and the function. Okay. Okay, that was all about the first day. That is the spotter thing. Okay, we have completed the histology section. We have completed the gross section. Okay. Now let's talk about the viva section. Now let's talk about viva. Okay. Viva. First, there will be the osteology of 5 marks. Right? For the osteology section, what you have to do is you will be given a bone. Either you will be given a bone or asked to choose a bone. Okay. When you are asked to choose a bone, someone is helping you. Okay. Understand that God is helping you, and always choose that bone that you are very familiar with and you know everything about that one. At least have one bone about which you are very very confident about. Okay, and don't mess things up, and don't get nervous. Don't get nervous. Okay, have very confidence in yourself. No, nothing's gonna happen, no one is gonna do anything. Have very, don't be nervous. Okay, okay, and have confidence in yourself. Okay, first thing what you have to do is the hold the bone in, correctly identify the given bone. Don't say femur, if femur is given, don't say, don't come by saying it's a radius or ulna. Okay, correct identification should be done, and the holding position would be seen. They won't say anything, you'll have to hold it yourself in a correct anatomical position. Okay, next side determination, is it of the right side or the left side. Okay, the next thing is that what you should know is that idea of the attachment and origin insertion of the important muscles. You should have the idea of the origin and insertion of important muscles, as well as the name of the important parts like greater trochanter or tubercle of the lister or any other parts. If there is peculiar feature of that bone, they need to know about those things as well. Furthermore, if you know about the surfaces and the borders, that is a brilliant plus point. You can tell about them and can impress your teacher as well. Okay, now let's talk about the bone. These are all the bones, and every bone would be there on the table, so they could ask you potentially every question about the bone. The most important thing is that in first semester they will try to make it harder for you, so don't leave anything unturned. Okay, I mean to say that study even the hardest bone as well. Hip bone is in this term very very important. Okay, in first semester hip bone is the one that is frequently asked. Know everything about the hip bone, even the ligaments of the hip joint. Okay, even the ligaments of the hip joint and where they are attached to. Bhima ma'am, this is the favorite question of Bhima ma'am. Okay, perfect. Now let know about tibia bone also. It is also most frequently repeated. The femur is also repeated. The fibula is also repeated. Know about the correct holding position of fibula. Okay, next is scapula, clavicle, humerus. These are all always important. The radius and the ulna is also very important. Okay, these two are also very important. Next is the carpal bones and the tarsal bone. You need to know about the arrangement of the carpal bones and the tarsal bones, and you have to name them sequentially. Similarly, always know about the ossification centers and the ligaments of the joints. Ossification center of all bones. Okay, it's given in your BD Saurosia. Have a look and know the ossification center of all the bones. It could be asked. Okay, now let's have a look at the embryology section. From the embryology section, menstrual cycle could be asked. You know the three phases of menstrual cycle. You could be asked to explain it in brief. The model of the ovary could be asked. Process of fertilization could be asked. Okay, second week of development with the figures. I mean the models would be there, and you will be asked to identify the specified structures like trophoblast or cytoplasm. Okay, embryoblast. Okay, and could explain about the second week of development as well. Similarly, the placenta could also be asked. Villus formation, gastrulation and neurulation. Neural crest cells, very important. Okay? Neural crest cells, very very important. Similarly, mesoderms and derivatives are also very important. Very important. Okay? Similarly, know about the ectoderm, endoderm and mesoderm and the gametogenesis as well. Okay, for your information. Okay, see, this is the relief model of the ovary. Okay, you could be asked about what is this structure, this is the graphene follicle, right? But this is the corpus luteum, this is the corpus albicans. Okay, this is the follicle. So these are all things you should know. And if you want the PDF, you can directly text me or leave the comment about, or you could text me on WhatsApp as well and Instagram as well. Okay, the next thing is that after the embryology section, we'll come to the radiology section. Now from the radiology section, particularly what will be asked is tarsal bones. You need to know the tarsal bones in the radiograph, how they look like, and the arrangement of the tarsal bones. And sometimes reassurance are often asked as the ligaments, about on which bone what is attached, kind of things also you need to understand. Otherwise, basically just know the basics about how they are arranged. The carpal bones, the hip bone is very important. Knee joint is also, hip joint is important. Knee joint is also important. Shoulder joint is very important and would be always be there on the first day. Okay, shoulder joint very important, and the elbow joint is also very important. Okay, where is it? The X-ray. Okay, wait a second. Okay, see, so this kind of figure would be there. You have already seen. First thing will be asked is, why is this in a anterior posterior, which view is this would be asked first, anterior posterior or posterior anterior. Then what is X-ray would be asked. I mean, why is there blackness here, why is there whiteness here, why is it radio opaque, why is it radiolution would be asked basically. And then about the hip joint, about the shoulder joint, it would be asked, what is this, what is this, what is this, Okay, this kind of things you need to know all about the x-rays. Okay, this PDF is potentially important, we created it, so if you want it then you can also text me. Sorry. Okay, this is the radio from the radiology section. Okay, from the surface marking section we will also have the 5 marks, so potentially it is also very important and easier as well. First thing you need to know is the inguinal ligament. Okay, from where to where. This is the femoral artery. You will have to trace it in the cadaver. Okay, there is one cadaver, you will have to trace it in the cadaver. Okay, and the teacher would be there, they will say nothing, you will have to draw it yourself, they will be all silent the entire time, either it is right or it is wrong, they will say nothing. First there are two ways of saying, first draw it and explain about it, or explain while you are drawing. Okay, the next is the long saphenous vein, it's very important. Short saphenous vein, saphenous opening, sciatic nerve, popliteal artery. Okay, and similarly the superficial palmar arch of the hand. Okay, and the ulnar artery, radial artery, median nerve, very important. Okay, axillary artery, radial nerve, and the brachial artery. Brachial artery was frequently asked in our university exam as well. Okay, these are all the things about what you have to take care about the anatomy practicals. So this was for today. If you want to have the PDFs, I also have the Halim's radiology and surface anatomy. So if you want to have any practical schedules, practical things to be helped with, then you can text me at living as RB007 on Instagram, and this is my WhatsApp number 1358. Okay, and if you are here, if you're watching the video till now, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you.